Hello everyone, this is Juan from Juan's Garage, and this is your garage tip of the day. So today we're going to jack up the Corvette to C7 2017, and we're going to do it a little different than most people do it, and I'll show you why. Okay? So first of all, I came up with this idea to have the lifting pucks, right, set on a 1 inch by 2 inch, 1/8 inch bar, okay? So you attach that to the bottom of the car, and then you can hoist up the full side of the car at once. Now, I'm gonna need about maybe 14 inches to crawl underneath to do an oil change. So we're gonna jack up the car, demonstrate how that works, and do an oil change, all right? Let's see if I can make believers out of everybody. Well, even a believer out of myself. Well, let's give it a go. Okay, so I'm going to call this thing a jacking bar, all right? So it's easy enough to set underneath the car. So you lay underneath, and you see the jacking port is right here. Okay, looks like that. And it's right about, kind of right here by the door, but you can't miss it. Just climb underneath and you'll find it. So you take this guy here and you set him up. Set him up inside of the slot. Okay. Now you turn the screw a little to get it to lock. There, he's locked in. And now just tighten the screw up with a little bit of pressure on it, and it shouldn't move, okay? I'm gonna get my little stubby screwdriver and snug it up. And then you do the same to the other end, all right? Okay, so now that we have our lifting bar in place, you set your jack at the center of the bar, the lifting bar. Make a little mark on it. And then we just start to lift. Let's see how this goes. Whoops. Okay. You see the car coming up nicely. Tires are starting to come up. Tires are up. Okay, I need 2 hands, but anyway, so you get the idea. See, the top's off. No, it's okay. Front tire's off. Now we just got to go up to 14 inches so that we can get the jacks underneath the bars, right where the pucks are, okay? I'll show you when I'm done. Okay, so now the car is fully suspended. I got the jacks in place. I'm gonna lower the car, and these will go right onto the jack stands, which will be on the support bar, and it should give us a lot more room to work with underneath. Okay, so after jacking up the car, putting it on the support bars on the outer end, now that leaves your whole undercarriage open for you to work on. Now I'm going to jack up the other end, and I'll take another video of that. Okay, here goes. Okay, so now we're on to the other side. Put the jack in once again, mark where your center is on your lifting bar, and start to jack up the opposite side of the car. You have your jack stand set at your desired height. I chose 14 inches. If you're bigger, you might need to jack it up a little taller or higher. If you're smaller, well, make your adjustment accordingly. Okay guys, so I did it. Got jacks up here on this side, jacks on the other side. Now we got entire open area under the carriage. You can go to work, okay? So once again, The little jacking bar here with the pucks all the way onto the other end with the other puck. Now, you don't have to buy an expensive setup to do this, okay? You buy the steel, cut it, drill it, and I'll give you a little more pointers on how to do that later on. Okay, now I'm going to get down to the business of changing the oil. All right, see you in a minute. So as I was saying, for today's oil change, you're basically going to need this. You're going to need, for the Corvette Stingray, okay, Stingray, not the Z01 or the other models they have, you need 7 quarts of synthetic oil. Okay. You're going to need a 15mm socket to take the drain plug off, 15mm, okay? You're going to need a filter wrench. This is a 74 to 76mm filter wrench. Get a universal and a short extension, your 3/8 drive, a torque wrench that's capable of 20 foot-pounds torque. It's always handy to have a cheater bar, a whole lot of shop towels. The filter, well, the Fram size is an XG 120/60. Okay, once again, I use these only because they have the little sure grip, the gripper painted on the bottom, and it makes it easier to take this filter off. Now, there are arguments about what is the best oil, and I really don't get into that. This stuff is good enough for what I do, daily driving. I'm not a hot rodder, I don't race it, as well as the filter. I change my oil every 5,000 miles, so, and I've got cars that go 300,000 miles, and I use the same formula. Okay, so let's get on with the job. Oh, I forgot. You're gonna need a drain pan. You're gonna need a floor jack, a low profile floor jack, the jack stands, okay? And that, I'm gonna call it my little custom jacking bar that I came up with. More on that, I'll show you at the end of the video how I made that thing, okay? Okay, so here's a rear view of the car. You see how it's nicely jacked up. Right when I start talking, the neighbor's dog starts barking. But anyway, that's how nice it is, okay? Easy investment, not too expensive. I'll show you guys how I made these jacking bars later, okay? Okay, so now I'm underneath the Corvette and crawled in from the front of the car, so I'm looking towards the back of the car over here. So once you climb underneath and you're under the engine compartment, you'll see your filter here, and right next to it is your oil pan drain plug, okay? Now, it's kind of a tight squeeze to get in there with the socket, so I recommend you using a ratchet with a universal on the end, okay? That way you can get on the socket. And by the way, that's a 15mm socket. So you can get on there and you can loosen it up. Once again, remember, as always, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. All right, I'm gonna put this down for a minute. I'm gonna take this out and let the oil drain out. Once again, always have your drain pan handy. But it sure is nice being able to crawl underneath the car from anywhere I want. Okay, so now you see the oil draining out into the pan nicely, and as you can tell, yep, this thing was due for an oil change. The indicator gave me that it was time to do an oil change, so we'll go through resetting the indicator later. All right, here we go. Kind of nice. So after it finishes draining, I'll take the oil filter out. So the nice thing about lifting it up on all the jacks like this is you get it at, you can jack it up to a level height, so the car is sitting level, so there's a very good chance you're going to get the majority of your oil out of the oil pan, out of the drain pan. Okay, so once you have your drain plug out, take a look at it and inspect it. Make sure that little rubber O-ring is in good condition, it's not torn. Eventually, you're going to have to replace it But it looks good now, and now that we're down to just a small trickle, I think I can go ahead and put the plug back in, or I might even give it a few more minutes. And next we'll have to take off the oil filter. Okay, it's kind of hard to see here, but set your torque wrench to foot-pounds at 20 foot-pounds torque. See how I have the little 0 there lined up with the 20, how it kind of turns down? 20 foot-pounds torque, that's what you want to torque this thing at, okay? So I just did it, I put it on there, and I cranked it. Now, to get it off, remember, I don't know who put this thing on, but I had to use a cheater bar. I always put a cheater bar to get more torque to get these things off. Next is the oil filter, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so this is the socket. It's a 74 millimeter, I guess. Got the freaking tape in here. All right, anyway, 74 to 76 millimeter filter wrench, okay? So I don't know what gorilla put this filter on last time it was done. But if you can't get it off because your wrench keeps slipping off, the hack is to put some tape on it, okay? Get some of this blue tape, wrap a couple turns on it, and it'll let your wrench grab it. You can kind of slam it on, and then it'll come off nicely, okay? Okay, so be aware, when you loosen up the filter, it's going to drain a whole bunch of oil. So just loosen it up a little bit, let it drain out, so it doesn't make a huge mess all over you. And once it stops dripping a whole lot, then go ahead and take the rest of it all the way out. Okay, so once you got the filter off, this is what it looks like underneath, okay? It's completely vertical. Take a look, make sure you got the old oil filter seal off. So when you put your new filter on, you won't have to worry about any oil leaks. Okay, so this is the oil filter I use, and I might have explained it in my other videos, but so what the Corvette Stingray uses is the XG12060 ultra synthetic Fram filter. I'm not marketing for Fram, I just like that they have this gripper stuff on the back, so when you take it off or you put it on, it's not a pain in the neck. Anyway, as always, take a little bit of your oil. Doesn't matter if you just drained it out from here, put some on your finger, and then just do as we say, dress the seal, okay? Put a little film of oil on it, that's so it doesn't stick when you take it off, and you're good to go, okay? It doesn't have to be dripping wet, just a little film on there, that's all you need. And then we install it, all right? Okay, so get your filter going, okay? Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey again. And spin it, and as soon as you feel it grab, feel it touch, put a mark on it, okay? So take your Sharpie, put a mark on it, so you know that you're gonna go 3/4 of a turn more, okay? That's a 1/4 turn. It's about a 1/2 turn. I'm gonna put the socket on there, the filter wrench on there. Turn it over to the marker is right about here. It's feeling pretty tight already, just to get it snug. I don't know what gorilla did this job last time, but I had to put a cheater bar on the ratchet to get it off. Okay, so now it's time to add the oil. So the Corvette takes 5W30. They recommend full synthetic. So once again, I'm not marketing for these guys, but over at Costco you can get this 5W30. You get 10 quarts for about $30. I think it's a pretty good deal. I'm not doing any hot rodding or racing, so this works for me. Just like the Fram filters, right? I'm not particular to these guys, but they do the trick. I've been using them for years, and it works out okay. Alrighty, so next let's do the oil. There's arguments about what the best oil out there is, and you know, I'm not a race car driver, and I drive this thing very lightly, so this stuff's gonna work for me, okay? All right, so you get yourself set up. Pour your oil in very carefully. And so this thing takes 7 quarts, according to the manual. Now this is not the Z51. This doesn't have that extra oil tank or whatever it has. This is just a basic Stingray. And they say it takes 7 quarts of oil. I think 6.9, but I think they round up to 7. So as always, put in 6.5 maybe, and then top it off. All right. Doing this one-handed isn't always the easiest, but you get yourself set up. Okay, so once you're done with changing the oil in the car, it's time to take the jack stands off and lower the car back to its normal position. So put the jack underneath, lift it slowly, take the jack stands off, and then lower the car very, very gently, okay? Okay, so once you're done, you might take a little screwdriver if you snug these up, and take these loose, okay? I got the other one here. Let's see if we can. Boy, did I snug that on too tight. I need 2 hands. Okay, guys, give me a second. Okay, so if you guys are worried about the undercarriage, this is what it looks like. There really isn't any damage to it. Okay. There's some scuff marks from other events, but it's all good. Okay, so after changing the oil, I got to reset the oil life value. So you set that, and then you press and hold the select button, I believe it is. And there you go. So there it is. You press the center button once it's there, okay? And it'll go from 0 oil life to 100%. That's it. Okay, guys, so this is the jacking bar that I came up with, okay? So it is, center to center is 39 inches, and then it's about 43 inches total length, okay? So that way you have a little bit of room on each side of the puck. Now, the pucks I ordered are these pucks with a single hole in the center. Okay, if you want to look them up on eBay, I bought them on eBay. I'm not marketing for these guys, but if you want to, go ahead and get those. It comes with these smaller screws. Now, those are M8 125s, okay? What you have to do is you have to get the longer screw so you can go through the bar, right? Go through the bar, go through the puck, go through the little bushings, and finally to the little, I don't know what you call this thing. Anyway, that attachment. Okay, so you get these at Home Depot, right? M8 125 by 60 millimeters in length, okay? You'll need those. So what you do is you get this bar stock. You can buy this bar stock at your local metal supplier. It's a 1 inch by 2 inch by 1/8 inch thick, okay? It's important to get the 1/8 inch thick stuff because you need it to be extra strong. So you measure, once again, cut it to length, okay? Drill your holes so you can get your screw through there, and you put it together, and it comes in really handy. Okay, so I notice here, I'm gonna take a file to that and clean that up, okay? I did this really quick. I wanted to do a quick job, see if it works, and post it online, share it with everybody. You know, you don't have to spend a whole lot of money. I think I bought this. Iron was less than $30. These were probably about $30. These were kind of expensive, believe it or not. These are like $3.75 each. So you're into it for about maybe $70. But it makes jacking up the car so much easier. You put the jacks underneath on the outside. You can get to the entire undercarriage of the car. You get in here and you do it very quick. Very nice job. But anyway, I hope it helps. If you guys want to borrow the idea, okay? If somebody patents this thing and makes a lot of money, remember me, send me a check. I'll take it and I'll add it to my Corvette fund. All right, guys. Once again, this is Juan from Juan's Garage signing off. Hope this helps. Share the knowledge. The smarter we get, the stronger we get. And keep driving those Corvettes. We'll see ya.